Hey guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Japa Opportunity Hub. This will actually be my very first video on this channel, and I'm inviting you to join me on this journey. So the goal of this channel is to share with you viable opportunities, and not just any opportunity that is vague. Doesn't tell you if there are sponsorship available or not. Doesn't tell you what you stand to gain, just gives you random information and just leaves you hanging. That is not what this channel is all about. So I am prioritizing quality over quantity, and that is what this channel is looking to do. So I will be bringing you pathways that are overlooked, because everybody tends to focus on care or NHS jobs, things like that. So I will be bringing you channels that people have not considered exploring, and opportunities are just there wasting away. And these are legal path routes for you to come into the UK. So I want you to support me, hit the like button, share, and subscribe to my channel. And on this maiden edition, I will be bringing to you something really key, something that's been going on for about over a month, but I think everyone should key into it, just because I feel that a lot of the spots left will be closed shortly, just because this program in question starts in September 2026. So I am talking about the early years training program that is being offered by the Department of Education in the UK. So the difference with this one is that it is open to all applicants. And by all applicants, I mean both applicants that are based in the UK and applicants that are based in Nigeria. So what is this all about? I will quickly run through it so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. Right. So on my screen, I am on the Department of Education website. So as you can see, it's the early years initial teacher training scheme. And then on this website, it shows you the accredited providers, because you would have to go through a provider to assess the course. And on this list, there are several of them on here. And from my research, only the universities listed here would likely offer sponsorship. So the other providers would prioritize applicants that are based in the UK. And I've gone through all of the providers on this list. I have emailed them to make inquiries. I have done the hard work. And from the look of things, a lot of the unis, they are closed. The application is already closed. And it's funny because the program is actually kicking off in September of 2026. So that means there's high volume of applications, and then most of them have closed their application. But surprisingly, the University of Reading still has their application open. And I've emailed them to make inquiries, and they told me that the application is still open but might be closed shortly. So that's on that one. Then I'll take you back to the government website that talks about the early years scheme. So as you can see on here, it says international students can be offered a place, and then it lists the criteria, which are very straightforward. So your GCSE equivalent, which would be like EYITT in Nigeria, and then you need to have a first degree or higher, so like a BSc or a master's, and it can be in any course at all. And then, yes, those are the two criteria you need. And then you qualify for the grant. So if I scroll up a little bit, you would see where it highlights how much grant this is worth. And mind you, this grant will not be paid to you directly. It will be paid to the training provider. And we're talking about the graduate route, because there is the employment route where you are already working as an early years trainee. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the route where, whether you have an experience or you don't, you're coming through the graduate route, and then you have to go through a training provider that would give you sponsorship. And that's where University of Reading comes in. So as you can see, we've talked about the eligibility. This is just recapping that. You can also see, Right. So the program, I think it's worth about £7,000 worth of grant that will be paid to your training provider, and then on top of that, you get a one-off bursary based on your degree qualification. So if you finish with the first class, that's 5,000 of grant. You finish with the 2-1, that's 4,000, and you finish with the 2-2, that's 2,000, and it will be paid in installment. It will not be paid in one go. So this takes away the pressure of having to look for proof of funds and all of that. You just keep right over that. But yeah, so this is quite straightforward. So I want you all to take full advantage of this opportunity. So I will quickly move over to the University of Reading website where we can just quickly scan through. As you can see, year of entry 26-27, and we'll just go through the overview quickly. As we said, the graduate entry route for 1 year program, and obviously you get trained on the course, and you have all the skills you need to get into the job. And then the entry requirements, as we spoke about, your degree certificate, your WIEC results. We should have English, mathematics, and a science subject. So this is talking about the graduate employment pathway, which is not what we're interested in, this section below here. And of course, you need your English requirements. So if you have your EYITT, LTS, or some other equivalent, you can use that. You could try using your WIEC result if you have a good score in your English language. Sometimes some schools do consider this option, but there are no guarantees because on here it says IELTS, but I've seen applicants that have gone ahead to use their WIEC English results. Right, so in terms of the fees, you can see here, and it's boldly written, new UK students £0, new international students £0. So this is clearly written here for you, in case you are still doubting. Right, but your living cost in terms of how you look after yourself when you get here, that's all for you to deal with. However, you will get a grant, as we already talked about, to support your living based on what you graduated with. And I think you still have some time to be able to do like a 20-hour per week a job to support yourself alongside your training, which is very good. And yeah, that's about it. And then finally, we'll talk about the quick questions that people get asked or people like to know about the program. Right, so the one I want to talk about, we've talked about these other questions already. What you will be offered is the early year teacher training status that will give you what you would use to then work in the sector, and you will not struggle to get jobs because there's a shortage of professionals in this area, which is why the government is pushing this course. So it's not a question of you struggling to get a job when you're done with the certificate. That will not be an issue. We've talked about the entry requirement, but then I want to stress something here. When you get chosen, you will have to do an interview. You'll be invited for an online interview, so you need to prepare for that after you submit your application and you get selected. You would need to fill in the occupational health assessment. You have to do DBS. I think that will be done for you internally, but you need to get a police report if you're, for example, applying from Nigeria because you're not based in the country. You don't necessarily need a work experience, but it's just good you have something in your CV that highlights you've done any kind of work, and if it's in with children, or even better for you. Right, as I said, you will be required to attend an online interview. Right, so you can see that here they are saying it very clear that they've received a very high volume of application for the graduate route, which is what we're interested in. So they are saying apply as soon as possible because the applications will be closed when they've made all the offers for the available places. Yeah. So here you can see here, tuition fees are paid by the Department of Education. You will therefore not need to pay any tuition fee for this program. So that further confirms all what we've been talking about. So I urge you to take this opportunity. If you like and apply, if you like my content, please do well to like and subscribe, and I will be bringing you more of this solid update, not just, watered down information that does not take you anywhere, and then you just get asked to subscribe and part away with your funds for some ebook or whatever. We don't do that over here. So support me, follow, like, subscribe, and share my videos. Thank you very much.